Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us here on KREM 2 News First at 4. I'm Whitney Ward. It has now been 1 week since a suspect in connection to the murder of 4 University of Idaho students was arrested in Pennsylvania. Tonight, we continue to learn more about the crime and bring you in-depth coverage on what we know at this hour. The suspect, Brian Koberger, is now in Moscow, Idaho, following his extradition to Latah County. He now sits behind bars following his first court appearance yesterday, where a judge denied him bond. Newly unsealed documents are showing the King Road home, the crime scene, will remain taped off until at least February. This is part of a motion the murder suspect's defense attorney filed to preserve that crime scene for its investigators. So in our commitment to bring you more context to every story, our Amanda Rowley spoke with a criminal defense attorney today about the significance of this type of order. Amanda?
Yeah, the murder suspect's defense attorney made this motion so her team can see the crime scene and do their own investigation. Now, Steve Graham, a Spokane County criminal defense attorney of 20 years, told me this is pretty common with murder cases. He says the first couple of weeks in a court case is when the defense typically brings in their own experts. Those experts will provide an independent opinion of the case and assist in preparing for the trial. At this point, the state already had the opportunity to comb through the crime scene for several weeks. Now the defense wants similar access.
They want to be very thorough to make sure there's no stones unturned and to be able to do their own analysis, their own inspection of the scene. Any diligent defense attorney would want as much. And frankly, I think the prosecutors would be in support as well, because they want a conviction at trial that's going to be upheld on appeal.
Now, once defense investigators access the crime scene, Graham says the process sometimes starts with a visual inspection. They may also take their own measurements, photos, and do their own analysis of DNA that's left over at the scene. But the attorney told me he believes the biggest challenge for the defense is the publicity looming over this case. Ensuring a fair trial is difficult with all the national attention on this defendant. Amanda Rowley, KREM 2 News.
All right, Amanda, thank you very much. And as that suspect does remain behind bars in Moscow tonight, just 10 miles away from Washington State University, students in Pullman will be returning back to classes on Monday. KREM 2's Nathan Hun was on campus today speaking with some of those students. Nathan?
Yeah, Whitney, I had the chance to ask students how they feel about returning back to school. And the suspect in the Moscow murders was arrested while the students were on break. And students told me they are glad a suspect has been arrested, but that doesn't give them confidence that they're completely safe. With students returning back to classes on Monday, some hope that they continue to see extra law enforcement on campus.
It's really scary to know that he was among us walking around and people seeing him could have just passed by. I do feel a little safer, but I mean, the police did say they're doing more patrols and stuff, which helps.
In a statement from WSU regarding the arrest of the suspect, they said that he was a PhD criminology student in his first semester. The university has already removed his name and picture from the department's website and inside the criminology department. And I also had the chance to speak with a WSU student who had the suspect as a teaching assistant. And I'll have more on that conversation at 5. Live in Pullman, Nathan Hun, KREM 2 News.
All right, Nathan, thank you very much. And tonight, as we dive deeper into the 18-page affidavit that was released early yesterday, we look into what it reveals about the murder suspect and his actions in the hours after 4 University of Idaho students were killed. KREM 2's Shannon Mowdy tracked his route from Pullman to a grocery store 45 minutes away.
As we've learned from the affidavit, investigators scoured the suspect's cell phone records in the months before and in the hours after the November 13th homicides. Police say those cell records showed him traveling roughly 35 miles away in the hours after the students were killed, which investigators believe was between 4 and 4:25 in the morning. To Clarkston, Washington. Phone records and surveillance video track him near a coffee shop, then to a grocery store.
Yeah, it's just bizarre. I can't believe it. So soon after the murder, it just kind of wonder what he was doing down here.
What investigators say the suspect did while in Clarkston, coming up on KREM 2 News.
And tonight, we will continue to bring you the latest on this investigation right here on KREM 2 News. In the meantime, you can text the word Idaho to 509-448-2000, and we'll make sure to send you a link of all of our past coverage right to your phone. All right, let's take a break and transition to the forecast now. Kind of a pretty sunshiny day, which was a nice way to end our work week. Meteorologist Michelle Boss joining us now. Michelle, what a difference a little sunshine makes, right?
Yeah, it definitely boosted our temperatures here in the Spokane area. Some parts of the inland northwest, like Moses Lake, not quite so lucky. They were kind of stuck in the fog today, and as a result, we're quite a bit colder out there. But as we take a look at satellite and radar right now, things still pretty quiet across the inland northwest, though it is going to turn more active this weekend. And so we do have a winter weather advisory, mainly across the Cascades and north central Washington, where some light snow accumulations are possible. So Sherman Pass, Stevens Pass, we'll see some light snow. Omak could pick up some very light accumulations, as well as the Wenatchee area. The rest of us are looking for accumulations of snow less than an inch, or just plain old rain, like what we'll likely see here in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. Now, Spokane did get up into the 40s this afternoon with a little bit of sunshine. We've cooled down to 39 right now, 35 in Coeur d'Alene, but Moses Lake again hovered right around the freezing mark. Omak the same, Wenatchee below freezing. So those are the places that may see some wintry precipitation over the next 24 hours. For us, we're looking at mostly cloudy skies. Our temperatures should bottom out right around freezing and then be back up in the upper 30s and lower 40s tomorrow. So we're talking about rain showers and several days of rain showers Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
All right, Michelle, thank you. Washington Governor Jay Inslee released his latest budget proposal for the next 2 years, and as it stands today, it erases all funding for the North-South Freeway until 2027. The project was slated to be finished as early as 2026, so this would certainly set that completion date back, could be as late as 2035. It would take an estimated $1.5 billion to finish the North-South Freeway as of now. While the governor's current budget proposal doesn't include any of that funding, it does allocate almost twice that for another new freeway in western Washington.